In this video, I want to break down mental models and how they're potentially sabotaging your sales and how they could actually enhance your sales when you know what you're doing. My name is Jessen James, and after personally closing over 22 million in sales and helping my clients generate over 200 million, I want to share this stuff with you. So let's get stuck into it. Now, what is a mental model? Now, the simple explanation for a mental model is it's a way of thinking, all right? It's just a belief system, okay? It's a belief that has created a system of knock-on beliefs, if that makes any sense. So a mental model is just a way of thinking. Now, some mental models serve us, some mental models don't. So we've got negative mental models, and then we've got positive mental models. Now, in sales, because I want to help you make more sales. If you're watching this, you should be wanting to make more money, right? In sales, if you are not aware of the negative mental models that your prospect is running, and you don't address them during your presentation or during your pitch, then unfortunately, it's gonna hinder your close. You're not gonna close them, you're not gonna get them over the line, because no matter how great your product is, no matter how wonderful your offering is, if they have a negative mental model that's stopping them from committing or moving forwards, good luck with that, right? So I've seen this over the years after training thousands of sales professionals just like you all over the world. I've seen this happen so many times, and this is why I address it in my trainings. Many sales professionals and many business owners are just trying to push through negative mental models, and they're not helping their clients create a positive mental model before they land them into the close. So I want to talk to you about this and how we help prospects go from negative mental models into positive ones. So let's take a look at some negative mental models. Now, negative mental models are also objections. Think about it, right? For example, I can't afford this is a negative mental model. Now, why is it a negative one? Because when someone says I can't, what do they really mean? I don't want to. Let's be honest. How many times have you said I can't do something? Well, when you say you can't, what that really means is you don't want to. Because if you wanted to, you'd try. If you wanted to, you'd give it a go. If you wanted to, you'd learn. Is this making sense? So I say the same things at times. There's stuff that I say I can't do because I actually don't want to. For example, I can't roller skate very well. Now, someone might go, but Jessen, that's a negative mental model. Well, yeah, it is, but I actually don't want to roller skate. So why would I change it? It makes no sense. But when it comes to selling and buying, your prospects buying stuff from you, when they say I can't afford it, it's a negative mental model, limiting belief, objection, whatever you want to call it, that stops them from moving forward. So if you don't solve that and help them reframe it into a more positive mental model, you're going to struggle. So when someone says I can't afford it, we already know what that basically means is they don't want to. So it's a negative mental model. So what do we do with that? We then take that negative mental model and we help using a series of questions, and I teach this to all my students, and if you want to learn more about that, hit me up. I'll hook you up with some free resources. You help them by using a series of questions to reframe this negative mental model, challenge it, see how it's not serving them, and help them get a more positive mental model. Now, what's the more positive mental model? How can I afford it? It's a much better thing to do, right? So rather than say I can't afford it, you want to move them away from this negative mental model into the positive one, which is getting them to think about how can I afford it? This is movement which will ultimately help you close the deal. Why? Because they're in a buying mindset now. Their mental model has shifted to, hey, actually, okay, it's a bit expensive, it's out of my budget, it's more than I thought. However, what I'm thinking is how can I afford it? That allows them to start getting creative in their own mind. Now, if you suggested payment plans, a deposit now, go and find the rest later on, using a credit card, using loans, using finance options, whatever it is, suddenly they're more open to it because now they're going, right, how can I afford it? So they've moved away from this I can't afford it negative mental model into a positive mental model. And that's it. Now, let's look at another negative mental model that stops your prospects from moving forwards, okay? This is going to be difficult. That's why they don't move forwards. Now, look, again, just like I can't afford it, it doesn't matter how great your product or your service or your offering is, okay? It really doesn't matter. If in their mind they believe it's going to be difficult, what that's basically doing is it's creating a whole series of belief systems in their mind to say, it's going to be difficult, I'm not very good at hard stuff, whenever I've tried to do hard stuff in the past, I've either quit or it's gone horribly wrong. They're firing off all these memories now of things that haven't worked out for them. So this negative mental model is just cascading and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, or whilst you're still trying to pitch, then they're not buy, right? So again, this is going to be difficult. Negative mental model, what do you do? Again, series of questions to help them reframe that negative model, make them see that it's not serving them, and show them what a better mental model will be, okay? So rather than go, this is going to be difficult, a better mental model is, this is actually going to be easy when I know how. Or this is going to be easy with you guiding me, for example, as in you, if you're selling someone something, right? So shift them to this mental model. Now, most of us, unfortunately, are still trying to push through resistance when it comes to mental models. All you've got to understand is that people are people. And if you know how to influence someone, you can influence someone. Now, I spent many years as a psychiatric nurse, so I know a thing or two about the human mind. But I didn't just stop at psychiatry. I went on and studied psychology. I've learned neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy. I just love studying human behavior. I love studying what makes people do stuff. I love studying what helps people. And for many sales professionals right now, we're just being taught standard techniques to try and move a prospect through. And a lot of the times, if you're trying to move a prospect through a negative mental model to just buy from you whilst they're in that state, either they'll buy under duress and then have buyer's remorse later on, or they'll just simply walk away and then you'll never hear from them again. Nobody wins in that situation. If they walk away and they don't buy, nobody wins. They still have a problem and you don't get paid. Not cool, right? So stop using outdated strategies. The strategies themselves aren't all bad. However, the psychology of them and when you actually deploy them is more important. So why on God's earth would you try to use a closing technique on someone when they're in a negative mental model? Now I'm explaining it to you, it makes logical sense, right? So you stop doing it. So what we want to do instead is get good at identifying all the negative mental models that our prospects usually come up with. Look, if you've done enough sales calls, or you've been in enough sales situations, you probably know what they are already. They are your frequently given objections. Can't afford it, don't have the time, people are gonna laugh at me, it's too expensive. You've heard them all, right? Need to think about it. Even need to think about it is a negative mental model. Because as you know, a positive mental model is do it now, figure it out later on, right? If you look at a lot of successful people, they don't take a lot of time making decisions. Look, they just know that the longer they delay stuff, the longer it takes for them to get to where they want to go. So your goal or homework, if you want to call it that, right? Because look, I'm shooting this video for you. I want you to get value from it, okay? But your homework, should you choose to do it, is to just make a list of all the negative mental models that your prospects usually have, okay? Then next, you've got to write on the opposite side of the page, what's the opposite? What's the positive reframe? What's the positive mental model of that one, okay? So can't afford it, how can I afford it? Make sense? And you list these all out. And then once you know what they are, practice, role play. This is something that I do extensively with my students inside of my closing incubator program. I help my students to identify challenges that they're having in sales, in closing, and then we role play them out. I guide them, I support them, I give them frames to use, but you don't just give them the frames. I explain the psychology, be like I'm just explaining to you now, and we also practice it until they get it right. Because at the end of the day, if you get it right in a safe environment, then you're absolutely going to smash it in a real one, right? So make a list of all the negative ones. What are the more positive ones? Practice them, role play them out, and I promise you, you'll close more deals because that way, you're not trying to sell through resistance. Look, selling's tough at the best of times. It's hard, man. Honestly, if you are in sales, I salute you. If you're a sales professional, if you're a sales rep, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, I freaking salute you. It's tough, but it is one of the most rewarding careers in the world. Not only does it fill your bank account, it fills your emotional bank too. Why? Because when I look at all the clients that I've helped, the people that I've helped retire their wives, the people that I've helped to actually quit their jobs and go full-time in their business, the people that I've helped to actually make life-changing amounts of money in sales to then go and invest it into other stuff. When I look at all the people that I've helped, all the things that I've done, the ripple effect that this has on their family, on their loved ones, on their future, on their bloodline, it just fills my emotional bank. So selling is tough, but it's so worth it. You name me which other career in the world that you can get into and you can literally make more in 1 month than a doctor makes in an entire year, right? But it's not easy. It takes work. So How do you get better at it? By making your job easier, by learning stuff like this. Look, if you're going to get 100 no's all the time because you're trying to push people into buying a deal, what's that going to do for your self-worth? You're going to burn out at the end of the day. So understand what makes people make decisions, and your sales will become effortless. And I want to help you with more of this stuff, okay? If you want help with this, if you'd like me to mentor you, if you'd like me to coach you, just message me down below in this video, just comment down below, let me know. I'll personally reach out to you, ask you a few questions, and look, I might not even have anything to sell you because you might not be ready to work with me, but I will have a lot more free resources I can direct you to until you're ready to come and work with me. Look, asking means you're not weak. It means that you want to be strong. Don't be afraid. Ask for help, okay? So let me know down below. Jess, I want more help with closing. I want more help with objection handling. I want more help with working on my own self-esteem and my own self-worth because that's sabotaging my sales. What do you need help with? I'm here to serve you. I want to be your mentor. I want to be your friend. I want to guide you. I've got your back. So let me know in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. Do it now. Do it now. I'm not going. Do it now. Hit that notification bell. Yeah? Good. Subscribe because I'm going to be dropping way more content that will help you, the sales professional or business owner, to close more deals. And if you've got a team of people that you'd love me to support, to train, I come out and I do corporate training as well. So whatever you need, I want to help you. No one's teaching the psychology of selling in the way that I do. And I'm telling you that with absolute certainty. I want to help you. I want to help your families. I want to help you guys grow. So hit me up. And as always, I wish you all the wealth, health, success, and happiness that you truly deserve. And I'll see you on the next video.